Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name once again is Celestial C88, and today we will be using the Wildwood Tarot deck once again for your reading. Now, I'd like to thank everybody who has already liked, shared, subscribed, commented on my videos. And if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit those notification buttons to help the channel grow. Comment and let me know what part of the readings has resonated with you, which ones hasn't. Let me know how you guys are doing with these readings. I'd love to hear from the community as it grows. And now, without further ado, let us begin. All right, Capricorn, these are your cards, and this is your general reading for the 4th week of September. That is September 25th through October 1st, 2022. Now, first impressions that I'm having for you, Capricorns, very strongly. You guys are going through changing tides right now, because the first card that you have is the wheel. So something has turned for you. So something has turned the wheel, so to speak. So maybe you're starting something new in terms of like a new job, maybe, a new school thing. It could, or maybe even like you just moved to a new house. Something has turned in your life for the wheel to move. And then the next card that you have is the Wanderer. Again, this is you guys as a collective are on a new journey, Capricorn. You guys are going off into doing something else from where you were before. And for a lot of you, I feel as if this was actually really needed, and I'll get to it because when I get to the other cards, I'll explain further. But I definitely feel for some of you, the fact that you have the Wanderer card, and this is the equivalent of the Fool card in like every other tarot deck. But for you guys, particularly, what I'm feeling very strongly is that you might not have necessarily really wanted to like start this new thing. It just kind of like you were pushed off into wander off. If you're looking at this card, it's like you were pushed off into wandering in the woods, and you weren't necessarily like planning to do it, but you're just like, well, I have to do this for my own sake, for my own sanity. Because I definitely feel for some of you Capricorns out there, and again, this doesn't have to apply to everybody, but for some of you Capricorns, you kind of been having to deal with something from where you were before. Now, whether it is from like a school thing, maybe it's a work thing, maybe it's just personal relationships that you had. I definitely feel like they kind of pushed you into like having to like have that wheel turn, into having this wanderer come into your life. Because the next card you have is the King of Stones, the Wolf card. And the Wolf card for you, particularly for this week, I want to say it's about you trying to find places of where you feel, you are protected. Like, where do I feel protected? Where, like, I need to go to there. You guys have this wolf spirit feeling right now for yourselves, because where you are, where you were before, excuse me, for some of you Capricorns, wasn't necessarily the best place for you. And this could be for a multitude of reasons, but you would know for yourself. Everybody's on a different journey, Capricorn. And if this reading doesn't feel like it's applying at all, you can always check for your sun, moon, or rising sign. But for the collective Capricorn, you kind of been like feeling like this isn't like the best place for you, emotionally, physically, whatever it is that's going on. You guys are just kind of just like, well, I have to find a new place to go where I'm going to feel protected, where I'm going to feel okay. Because the next card you have after the King of Stones is the Two of Stones challenge. So you guys have been going through some challenges. For some of you, and again, this doesn't have to apply to everybody, but for some of you, it might have been just like a rivalry of some sorts that, a competition that you just doesn't make any sense to you. Now, sometimes competition can be healthy. In some ways, it can push you to be better. But for those of you, maybe as an example, if this was like a work competition, that it wasn't healthy, and the other person was probably undermining you and spreading lies about you, and it was making actually going to work and doing your job into a challenge. like you're like these two hairs in this picture, like going back and forth. And at first you thought it was just going to be a healthy rivalry, but like as time went on, you're just like, oh no, this isn't healthy, this is bad, I need to like, this is bad, I need to get out of this. And like people weren't like necessarily paying attention to this. And I definitely feel this is probably why you have the, again, one of the first cards you had was the Wanderer card. I definitely feel like you guys were just like, I've had enough, I am tired of this, I need to go. Even for some of you out there, that I'm getting that it might even just not even, maybe not be a work thing, not be a school thing, might even just be something like something within your friendship group or within your family. Like, especially if it's like with something that's dealing with your family, you might have had like, other people, the older people in your family or your parents or somebody being like, oh, you can't, you can't just like not talk to this and that person. That person is your brother, that person is your sister, that person is your cousin. And you're just like, no, I don't get a good feeling from them, I don't get a good vibe, I don't think it's a good idea to be around them. Capricorn, that's how you feel. Maybe you not necessarily say that, but like you definitely will know the feeling of like somebody doesn't want you really around. And you decided to be like the Queen of Vessels here, the Salmon, and just like, I'm gonna be the mature one and just walk away, because this is not gonna be good for my sake, this is not gonna be good for my sanity right now. So again, like I said, I definitely feel like the wheel had to turn, or the wheel or the Wanderer had to come up, not necessarily because you didn't try, but because you had enough. you had enough. You're just like, you know what, it's gonna hurt me more than it is hurting this other person, because because you are in this Queen of Vessels energy, Capricorn, with this mature emotional maturity. And the other person is kind of like being in this Queen of Bowls, the hair energy, where they're kind of just like being deceitful, like kind of saying lies about you, especially if, if it's a work situation, maybe they're spreading lies and it's gotten to the point where you can't do your job properly because of them. So whatever it is that's going on, Capricorn, this is why I believe that you were just like, okay, so I gotta go, I gotta move on, I gotta wander out of here. All right, Capricorn, that is your reading for the week. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know how the readings are for you. What has resonated, what hasn't resonated. I love to hear from the community as we grow, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.